Hello guys, Zephyrdimension here, welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Legends in a roundabout way. When we left off, we were just doing more of these Pokemon location thingamajigs, so let's carry on with that. Got nothing else to do, to be honest, literally. Game's complete apart from finding everything we can. So, heading on to Route 10, one of many routes. This is pretty much the heavy route part. 4 routes and a cave. Quite an important cave, mind you, with a rather random 7th Pokemon in it, which is, I think, the first time that's happened so far. Don't think I've ever known it to happen again, even in the parts I've recorded ahead. For some reason I recorded a trip to the Pokemon Center before heading on to the first main route. Route 10 was pretty much a complete no-go, in the sense that I had everything there already. Hooray, saves us some time. Route 8, I think, had 1, possibly 2. Sunkern I know we didn't have. Surprising that we missed a Sunkern of all things. That's kind of a surprise. I have a feeling I saw one of these later on as well and just didn't catch it. But yeah, here we go. One of the most useless Pokemon in my opinion. Even in its evolution, it's just completely, absolutely terrible. But it is still necessary for completion, so I will submit and catch one, as I just did. There we go. Does the Pokedex say anything interesting about it? Even the Pokedex admits it's horribly weak. There we go, even Pokemon can't stand it. Moving on to a little bit of fishing, which is pointless because I have Corsola, Magikarp and Krabby already, but I didn't notice at the time. So we fade out, only to immediately fade back in. Oh yeah. And then into Mount Moon, which actually has some interesting stuff. The little location thing will be down there. There we go. A lot of those I didn't have, and a lot of those I never even came across. I think I spent an awful lot of time in Mount Moon, and I never once remember seeing a Phanpy or a Donphan or even Clefairy, which is, you know, kind of what you'd expect to find in Mount Moon, Clefairy. So, there we go. Phanpy, another thing that I'm fairly sure appears quite a bit later anyway, so I'm just making it difficult for myself by trying to catch it in a place where it's rare, but you know, progression is important and all that nonsense. If I leave things now, I'll forget what I've got and what I haven't. So there we go, the long-nosed Pokemon, that's original. Then a little bit more wandering around will bring us probably a Clefairy next, I think. Can't say for sure, but I think... let's find out. Yeah, Clefairy. Again, amazed that I haven't actually got one of these already, because when I was wandering around Mount Moon, these weren't particularly scarce. Not the Clefairy. Came across a few of those, so not sure why that was so difficult. I think that Clefairy had a really weird ear as well. Not sure if that was just like emulator problems or something, but I don't recall them having... maybe they do. Random pink point at the end of its right ear. I don't know, that's new to me. Maybe I'm just not very observant normally. That's more than likely it. Okay, next is Donphan, I believe. Yeah, there we go. Rather misleading visual there, because Donphan only appears on the 2nd floor, or the basement 1st floor, or whatever you want to call it. Can't remember if it's up ladder or down ladder. Probably down ladder. But so yeah, you won't find it in that room where I just blurred from. But you know, it's tricky. Rather surprised to find one of these. I know they turn up in Victory Road or whatever that place is. The technical Victory Road that I don't think was actually called Victory Road. It might have been Mount... oh gosh. Mount... ah no, I can't think what it's called. The one between, yeah, the one en route to wherever Price's gym is. My gosh, I'm doing terribly at remembering names today. gosh, I don't want to spend too much time thinking about this because the entire part is just going to be me going, oh gosh, what's it called? Otherwise, so yeah, I'll leave that at that. I might put an annotation here once I look it up. I better do that. Anyway, yeah, Donphan, pretty annoying to catch. This was the first one I caught, and I did go all out trying to make sure it was, you know, as weak as possible, because I knew I wouldn't come across one again. It's pretty hard to come by in the first place. But there we go. Donphan is mine, and then you appear at the place where you actually get one. And then we randomly wander back into Mount Moon, and then I'm like, no, why am I doing this? And head into the proper direction, which takes me on to Route 12, that's the one, in which there are no normal Pokemon, as in, you know, land-based ones, surprisingly. I thought there was a patch of grass down in the corner, but maybe that counts as the next route or something, or maybe it's gone in this, whatever you want to call it, hack, that's the word. But you find Quagsire here. Fairly sure I found these by the barrel when I was actually doing the LP and got to this area. They are extremely annoying Pokemon to fight, but actually one I would like to use one day. Maybe on my next Heart Gold playthrough or something. But yeah, they flee an awful lot, and are just terribly annoying to fight in the first place, because they're awkward typage. But there we go, we got one. And all is well in the world again. So, what else is there around here? Looking at the thing. I'm guessing we probably don't have Tentacruel. I can't even remember. I should remember what we needed and didn't need. I have a feeling it might actually be a Tentacruel, and I got a Tentacruel somewhere around them. Yeah. It's always weird when you have the evolution of something and not its base form, unless you evolved it, in which case it makes perfect sense. Full Swipage will, yep, do more than enough, but luckily that doesn't matter. This is Full Swipe, and a Great Ball should do the job, I would imagine. Indeed, no resistance whatsoever. Hooray for Tentacle. It is a very overlooked Pokemon, because they're just everywhere. Now for the fishing, which gets extremely annoying. We'll spend about 5 minutes trying to catch a single Pokemon here. Oh gosh, this Pokemon. Definitely one of the worst ones I've had to encounter so far. Probably only narrowly beaten by Abra in annoyingness to catch. This one, to be honest, was just more of a saga, because I just had everything against me from the start. I didn't have Pokeballs, then I didn't have money. It's Quillfish, of course, which, probably didn't help that I was fighting at such a high level, but I don't think I ever found one using a good rod or old rod at all, even though it's super scarce, which could be likely. So yeah, we'll spend a long time fighting this thing. Minimize doesn't help, of course, but alas, wild Pokemon can do nothing if not hinder you, inevitably. But yeah, sending in Trevor for good old hypnosis times, in a bid to actually get things working in my favour here. By the point of this fight, I'm extremely fed up with these, because I must have fought about 10, and they're pretty hard to catch in the first place. They're pretty scarce. But I had to wander down. I fought the first one, then realised I didn't have any Great Balls, too late. This was when I got it down to minimal hit points, so I was a bit frustrated by that. Then I realised I had an equally long trip to either Lavender Town or Saffron or Fuchsia. No, I think it's Fuchsia. So I had wander for ages to actually get to a Pokemart. Then I found out that No, then I got there, and for some reason I didn't actually buy the Great Ball. I have no idea why. I just wandered straight back out of town and found another Quillfish, and I was like, why didn't I buy the Great Ball? So I wandered back to Fuchsia, realised I didn't have any money, so I went through the Pokemon League again. Oh gosh, this thing. Not a bad Pokemon in itself, a little bit frustrating to catch, but it's more the fact that everything was against me from the start on that one. Awkward timing. But yeah, Route 11 has some interesting things. Eradicate's not so interesting, but still a pretty cool Pokemon. One I really like. One of the very few normal types that I actually would consider using, which is weird, because normally the early finds are pretty horrendous. Although I do like the black and white, whatchamacallit. Gosh, I can never remember the black and white Pokemon names at all. The one that calls him Patrat, or whatever that thing is. Oh, yeah, not a great lover of black and white. Too much to get your head around, unfortunately. But yeah, Eradicate I do like. And there's a few other little neato surprises here as well, such as Pikachu. Pokemon I automatically hate for its sheer popularity. Don't give in to the mainstream. Yeah, no, it's... No one can deny its adorableness, but everyone loves Pikachu, and therefore I must hate it. Oh gosh. But yeah, it doesn't put up much of a fight. I don't know why I insisted on putting it to sleep here, because I think this was the first one I found. I don't think it's terribly much of a threat. Probably is a bit of a threat to Trevor if I was 50 levels lower, but nope, this was absolutely no problem whatsoever. There we go. Hooray for Pikachu. I must have saying hooray for things, especially for things like Pikachu. Okay, what's next on here? Probably Pidgeotto. Another one I was surprised I did not have. But then again, I only caught Pidgey in this, in the Pokemon locations hunt thingamajig, whatever you want to call this. So, I shouldn't be terribly surprised at not having a Pidgeotto. And this thing looks like it's set to cause a bit of trouble in terms of catchability, which is a bit frustrating. Must be on my last Pokeball, surely. Oh no, I must have brought a load more, never mind. The things you forget when they aren't shown on screen. Yeah, this is a little bit tedious though, this Pidgeotto. Fortunately, I clearly have no shortage of Great Balls to throw at it, so... yeah, it can resist all it wants, but I have the power of numbers. Although, having said that, I don't have infinite hit points anymore. That's, those are running out quite fast. My gosh, this is really a vicious Pidgeotto. Rather glad it didn't attempt an attack there. Hopefully this is the one. There we go. Gosh, that was a unnecessary nightmare. I should have just put it to sleep. If I gave Scyther a sleep move, that would be ideal. I'd have to keep switching to Trevor. But anyway, Lickitung. This was amazing. I love Lickitung. And I'm in two minds of its evolution though. It's one of those Gen 4 evolutions that you just can't quite decide if it's awesome or not. A lot of them aren't, and that kind of brings down the rest, but some of them are okay. Licky is a weird one. But Lickitung has always been awesome. Again, a normal type that obviously because of its rarity, because this thing turned up like, oh, after so much work. But yeah, it's a pretty nightmarish thing to catch, and obviously paralysis under normal conditions is not ideal, especially when mixed in with confusion. Gives you about a 25% chance of actually doing anything. And hypnosis is a low accuracy move as it is, so that's even less of a chance to actually do anything. So yeah, that's... see what I mean? Gosh. Finally get hypnosis in, and it misses, typically. Looks like that was part of the problem there, not so much its low catch rate. Here we go, it's finally asleep, and will we get it? Will we get it? Hooray! Yes, so happy with that. So yeah, quite a few interesting Pokemon there. Definitely happy to have Lickitung and Quillfish. Those were not ones I expected to find at all until I did this, so there you go. See you next time for more of this.